can always tell when I'm working hard because my hat is askew. I'm finding it confusing to keep talking about different kinds of paint, different brands of paint. There are a lot of paints available. I'm going to try to simplify my analysis of this situation. These paints are the also-rans. These are paints that I'm not going to use, I'm not going to buy, and I'm not going to deal with. I may review them one by one at some point when I run out of good material. These are all paints that are popular. There's nothing inherently wrong with them. They are not evil. None of them have tried to hack into my bank account or anything like that. Now we have a few other paints that I have not talked about that I really need to discuss. The first one I want to talk about is this AK brand new kind of paint. I don't know, came out about a year ago. This is AK third generation. Brand new formula, it says on there. Third generation. I don't know quite what to make of this paint. If it were exactly matched to true colors, if you could go down and get an exact match for your RAF Dark Earth or, US in Vietnam Dark Tan, if you could just go in there and buy this stuff right off the shelf, yeah, it'd be great. But no, the colors don't match. They do not. They're not accurate. And I'm sorry, but that sort of takes away quite a lot. But the overall usability of this paint is kind of mind-boggling. It's new. It's from the future. I don't know how to use it. Maybe if there was a nuclear apocalypse and I had to start over from scratch, in a desolate world where the living would envy the dead, I might get this paint. I don't know. But I'm still looking at it. It's still a paint that I think is on my radar. And along with a whole bunch of Chinese ICBM warheads. Speaking of fun stuff, hey, Pro Acryl from our friends at Monument Hobbies. Yow! This stuff is definitely paint from the future. I don't know what this is. When I brushed this on, I thought, whoa, this is different. And I don't know how to describe it. All I can tell you for sure is that if you try it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this is yet another paint that seems to have been developed for the ever burgeoning Warhammer miniature painting market, and it is trippy. Again, it's a paint that I want to look at in the future, and which I'm definitely going to be using for painting light colors like white and yellow. But there are some costs involved here. There are certain issues that you just can't get past. One of them is that I'm not infinitely wealthy yet. So while y'all are saving your dimes to send them to me, I'm going to briefly mention this Spitfire that I was working on. Put those wings on there. Now, this thing has got to be painted into something, right? Yeah, that's right. So what are we going to paint it? I think our inspiration can come from this. I bought this Hataka red line paint thinking that it might be like Vallejo Model Air. And it's unfortunately not. It's not. It doesn't lend itself to painting with a brush. But you can see the Spitfire right here that I'm going to paint is right there. That's the same. That's it. It's right on the box. I mean, that's a sign. It's a sign. So we're going to paint our Spitfire to match this guy. Only we're going to have to get the blue line. So I went to some trouble and spent a little money and bought this on eBay, and it's coming in. Looks just like this, only blue instead of red. Now, why am I doing that? Why am I bothering? I mean, I bought this for the Luftwaffe, and I painted at least one model with it. I think one. Why am I concerned? Because I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot, but it's not impossible. But I'm worried about my fellow modelers who do not want to mix colors. Now, this is a major issue, and it's going to cause this video to run a little long. Oh well. If you can't mix the colors, then you have to buy them already mixed. Am I wrong? It's really difficult to get colors pre-mixed, ready to go, that are actually accurate. That's not as easy as it sounds. It used to be a cinch back in the golden years when we had polyscale and, life was beautiful, but those days are gone. Now we're living in a post-apocalyptic hellscape. And you got to rely on these boys. I think it's pronounced Hataka. Anyway, their colors are spot on. However, I had some major trouble with their dark green. Good old Luftwaffe dark green. Horrible mess. The paint basically went solid. The other paints are fine. That particular color, awful. Just did weird things. And I defy anyone to get that paint to work. Especially if you're squirting it out of a little plastic bottle. Ain't going to happen. This makes me skeptical. But this is really your only option. This paint claims to be pre-mixed in authentic colors. I think that's not true. You can get some authentic colors from Tamiya, or Tamiya. Depends on, how Japanese you are, I guess. Tamiya! Gojira! Anyway. None of these, especially like Revell, get out of here. These guys don't care. They just don't. They do not care. They're the honey badgers of the model building industry. The model kit industry. We've already seen how model color, they came up with a version of Midstone that was more like Panzer Yellow. It wasn't Midstone at all. The Model Air is another paint that I'd recommend as a pre-mixed color option. It's a little bit harder to use though, so there's a trade-off there. I don't know what the answer is. Hataka is kind of hard to get, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it not only because it's the right colors, and these RAF desert colors are just a bear to mix, but we're going to have to paint this particular model somehow or other, and so we're going to put these Hataka colors through their paces. And there's some things about them that are great, some things not so great. We're going to see what happens. I mean, 1 out of 4 colors was not good. That 1 out of 4 colors, the colors are accurate, but the paint itself was something wrong with it chemically. Didn't work. Okay, so we're going to wait till we get that paint comes in. We're going to paint this model with that paint. See how it works. You should see some links on the screen. And if you need to, click on them.